It's the Muppets! It's the Muppet Show Rewound with our very special guest star, the Queen of Comedy, Carol Burnett! Yeah! Alright, yeah. No, triumphant horn! Triumphant horn! Did you hear that? Was that fucked up or was it just on my end?
Do you mean the
No,
No, it sounds like, I mean, you got an echo on your side. No, I can't hear it, but I mean,
Okay, anyways. Off to a good start. It's the Muppet Show Rewound, and this is, we might keep going after the Muppet Show on ABC premieres. I haven't quite decided that yet, BlueDragonFive, because honestly, I think that there's a ton of different Muppet Show episodes that we can get to, besides the 5 that we have lined up. But regardless, we are here to kind of count down and break down and kind of build up anticipation for the newest installment of the Muppets brand, entitled simply The Muppets, premiering on ABC this upcoming Tuesday. I believe it's, what, the 22nd?
yes, 22nd.
22nd. So we already took a look. I believe it was sometime last week. We took a look at the very special episode with Steve Martin, which was awesome. It was kind of a behind-the-scenes kind of like audition sort of episode. Didn't really have any sort of show. It was more like auditioning the acts.
A Muppet Show with no show whatsoever.
Essentially, yes. And this episode is very much in that same sort of style of having a different kind of format to the usual kind of variety show episode. So with that in mind, you want to introduce what we're talking about?
Well, yes, we're talking about Carol Burnett appearing on the Muppet Show, and what's interesting about these episodes we've selected is that it would seem that they all have something very distinct about them. I think we probably mentioned this before, Steve Martin, but especially Carol Burnett going forward, we have a lot of very distinct. Like I think our 4th episode might have the most kind of in formula for the Muppets, but then the rest of it does kind of game change it all.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of the recurring thing with the Muppet Show is that it can never go right. The Muppet Show will never go as it's supposed to go. It'll always spice things up.
I think that's the recurring thing with the Muppets, just in general. I think there's kind of 2 general themes with the Muppets. One of them, the very strong emotional theme of the Muppets, is the idea of the surrogate family, which we've talked so much about. And the other one is kind of the idea of dysfunction and controlled or not so controlled chaos.
And what's so special about this episode in particular with the whole variety show format actually is that, Carol Burnett, it's so hilarious. They have a guest who, again, is the queen of comedy, essentially. Carol Burnett being a wonderfully, acclaimed, she has just kind of sold us on, she was kind of the variety show before the Muppets, she was one of the primetime variety shows for everyone,
Exactly.
The queen of comedy. She could, do a slew of things. She was like the skit master, essentially, And it's so funny having her on a show where she can't actually do a skit, do a variety show. That's her wheelhouse.
And that's the whole gag throughout the whole episode, and they just run with it and make it great.
Just squandering their guest stars is kind of the fun running gag of the Muppets. Like, they can never get...
Yeah, I know, but still, at least with Steve Martin, Steve Martin got to do his banjo bit and his balloon animal bit. It's like, here she's just constantly getting shafted.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, the guest stars essentially get like a glimmer of hope, or like either they finally get to do that thing, or just a glimmer of hope. But Gilbert gets a glimmer of hope. It doesn't pan out for her.
I would almost say it's almost kind of like a Nadia-style glimmer of hope.
Yes.
Very much reminding me of that.
I never thought of that until you brought that up.
Right.
That is exactly what it feels like.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I guess also this one's a very unique Muppet Show too, because it has a running gag throughout the whole show. Not just like that happens every Muppet Show, but I mean specifically a running gag that is quite literally meta on the nose of that. They are dancing through the whole episode.
Indeed. Not just dancing; they're having a dance marathon.
Yes.
With the numbers and everything.
Speaking of which, I guess we should get into the episode. So, we start with Pops.
Yes, awesome.
Good old Pops. And by the way, fun little trivia fact here going forward with these episodes, because we are talking about them out of sequence, like basically out of seasonal sequence.
Right.
Yeah. It's interesting. Towards the beginning of the Muppet Show, they had the openings with Scooters bursting into the guest stars' room and saying, 5 minutes to curtain.
Sure.
And later on, and this is like towards the latter half of like the seasons 4 and 5, where Pops was the opener.
Okay. Do you think maybe Pop's role in Muppets Take Manhattan, or not Take Manhattan, I'm sorry, Muppet Caper had anything to do with that?
I would assume so, yes.
Okay, cool.
Well, then again,
so,
I'm trying to. Oh yes, okay, but they did both at the same time. I was just trying to think if it was like one way, then they were all simultaneous.
Right. I don't know. It just seems to me like whenever the Muppets kind of have a popular character in one of their movies, they'll maybe kind of translate it to the small screen. A good example of that is maybe we'll see how much Walter is in the new Muppet Show, but he's certainly around, so that's kind of an interesting thing to look for.
Mm-hmm. So we got Pops dancing in his little ticket booth, and Carol Burnett enters. Yeah! And, Pops is like saying, "Oh, did you hear the good news? The show's been canceled?"
I mean, this must be a running thing with the Muppet guests, where it's like none of them really inherently want to be there. It all seems like all of them kind of got roped in by their agents.
Yeah, like roped in by their agents, or basically they're promised they can do what they want to do, and then so they never get a chance to do it in Carol Burnett's case.
Right.
So let's see. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, we got a number and everything for a dance marathon.
And I just love the concept of this, just in general. I feel like if you put this on as an actual sporting event, it would actually get kind of intense.
Well, yeah, people actually do this thing, right?
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, they have dance marathons, and they dance until...
I know, but is it like an endurance test?
Well, I mean, it's whoever the last one standing is.
Oh god. Okay.
That's how it goes. You dance until there's last people left.
All right, fair enough. That seems like something that could get very competitive very fast.
Well, it's better than being locked in a car with a judge and a bailiff.
Hey, that was a take on Survivor.
It was. Okay, right. So let's see. So the dance contest has been established, and the big question kind of arises here of well, okay, so this is like after the show. No, it's during the whole show. So, but you mean when I perform, people are gonna be dancing? Yeah.
But don't worry, you won't bother us.
And Carol Burnett's calling her agent.
Now, what number would you like, my agents?
All right, so then we get the opening, and the Gonzo gag of the episode. Gonzo has a big role this episode.
He does.
The gag is
a police siren.
Air raid.
Oh, is it?
Sorry, it's a little. Yeah.
Sorry.
This is like the evacuation horn.
Well, excuse me for getting a siren wrong. It's a siren to me.
Couldn't have saved your excuse me references for the last episode, could ya?
No, I couldn't.
Okay. So yeah, Gonzo at the air raid horn. Yes. So let's see. So take us through some of this. Where do we start things off here?
Well, Kermit comes out, as always. He introduces America's greatest comedian, Carol Burnett. That's the good news. The bad news is that Gonzo talked him into a dance marathon.
Yowza!
So good.
Gonzo.
Since Flossie isn't in this episode, is Yowza Gonzo's equivalent of Waka Waka?
I'm not sure, but I think it works if that's the case. I gotta tell you, Gonzo's so adorable in this episode. It's like Yowza. It's like the
really puts Gonzo's passion on display, and I think that's what people love about Gonzo in general.
Yeah, so Gonzo had the idea for the dance marathon during the show.
Mm. And so I guess the first dance is, I thought it was kind of a slow jazz number. Is that on the money?
I can't quite recall the music. It's been a while. I think so, yeah. He starts off jazz, and then it goes into the At the Dance sketch. At the dance sketch, for folks who, of course, should know this if you're a Muppet fan, it's the ballroom dancing sketch, like all the funny one-liners to each other during a dance, and it kind of makes sense that that's your dance.
I light my world on fire.
Darling, you set my world on fire.
Oh.
Keep dancing, Mr. Waltz. But with that, it's kind of a neat idea to center the whole episode essentially around the dance sketch.
Right.
Alright, so let's see. So
we got the there's a few kind of puns going around. There's a sea monster, and he's like, "What do sea monsters eat? Fish and ships." Oh.
I remember one of my favorites was, I think I put my shoes on inside out. Yeah, they're golf shoes. Oh, yeah.
Sadler and Waldorf, they're kind of like, they have a weird setup this episode. They're kind of like in a balcony, but it's on stage. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I did notice that. It's kind of...
It's odd.
They have to dance somehow.
Okay, so it's like they just build a balcony onto the theater. All right, why not? Sure.
Maybe it's on wheels. Maybe just like it detaches and it's on wheels. I don't know.
I would love to see them work in a mobile balcony into a movie one day.
It'd be hilarious if they...
Just them on a freeway just driving the balcony.
It has to work like... remember Liar Liar when Jim Carrey's on the thing trying to catch up to the plane?
No, I don't.
Ugh. You said me. Point is, he's on like one of the tarmac things, or the guys who like work on the plane. They have a little extending platform on wheels.
Mm-hmm.
If it was like that for Stanley and Waldorf with a balcony,
right.
You just drive around, like manipulate it up and down. Anyway, so apparently this dance goes on forever. It's gonna last forever. As a Statler and Waldorf, first, what's the first prize? 3 weeks away from the show. Yeah. So one of the funny runners of this whole episode, one of the great funny runners, it's Kermit the Frog dealing with Carol Burnett.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. And I love Carol in this episode. Like, I mean, she really does prove her chops here.
Exactly.
Because not only does she do great comedy, but there's also points where A, she can kind of be like, quite frankly, kind of a bitch. And B, there's also moments where you feel genuinely sorry for her.
Exactly. That's the thing. Because Carol Burnett, she does it all. You can never anticipate. She fits in perfectly with the Muppets and the variety show act because she can just change on a dime like that, and it works so well. And she's so pleasant no matter what. It's like, even if she's unpleasant, it's like, oh man, that's a great way of being unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching Get Smart today, just got to prepare for Carol Burnett, and I saw her in an episode. She just still holds up. She's fantastic. It's hilariously funny. She played like a cowgirl essentially.
Okay.
It's really funny. Okay, so Kermit and Carol Burnett, they're chatting. Gonzo interrupts, questioning, why aren't you dancing? No
they
dancing.
That they don't have a partner.
Yep. And Kermit, no offense, this is one of the 3 worst shows I've ever done. Really? What were the other 2? I was just being kind. There are no other 2.
So who's going to serve as Carol's very gracious dance party?
I don't think it's Fozzie. I do not think it's Fozzie.
No.
Yeah, you're right. Fozzie really isn't in this episode.
He's not in the episode at all. He's totally absent.
He must have held out for more money. That's why he didn't appear in the episode. Kermit, I'm sorry. I got to hold out for more money. It's like the Brad Garrett thing. It's like he holds out for more money, and the rest of the cast get a bump too. So it's for a noble cause.
Oh dear.
Then again, apparently the Muppet Show, people get to the Muppet Show for free, as it was revealed last episode.
Right.
So really no profit in there whatsoever. So Fozzie's just...
I don't know how the Muppets are making a profit. By all accounts, it doesn't really make any sense.
Well, I mean, I guess Dominic Bad Guy on the side just has a copious amount of money. He's paying people to see the show for no money. Okay. So it was a loss.
So Dominic Bad Guy's been with them since the 70s?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm mispronouncing it. Dominic Badgie.
Okay.
I mean, he must have been a young guy in the 70s.
A young up-and-coming swindler.
Yeah. Okay. So who is Carol Burnett's dance partner?
It's Animal!
Dance!
Yeah.
If you're going to pair any of the Muppets up with Carol Burnett, it has to be Animal.
Oh my God, it's freaking genius.
I mean, unless you have Harvey Korman in an animal costume, you can't. It has to be.
Now I wish they would have done
Oh, seeing Harvey Korman, kind of a nostalgia critic, kind of a evil stepmother.
Oh God! Oh God!
The Lady Tremaine outfit, remember?
Right.
Okay, anyway.
Okay.
Animal approaches. He's very eager to dance.
Oh yes. All right. So then,
there's like a mineral gag, isn't there, or something about vegetables and minerals?
I don't have that on my notes.
Whoopsie doodles, folks. Sorry. So, we had Kermit.
I'm not saying you're not wrong. I'm just saying I didn't write it down.
I know. I was hoping you'd save my bacon there, but no offense to Miss Piggy. Save my bacon.
If you want to save your bacon, you talk about the pig puns, creep.
You're still a frog. Okay, anyway, but back to things. So Kermit's dance partner is Gonzo, and I gotta tell you, I get this most adorable part of the episode. Just like Gonzo dancing with Kermit. They're just volunteering to be Gonzo's partner. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so endearing.
Just Gonzo says, "Well, Kermit needs a dance partner." Remember Gonzo before he kind of developed? The voice was different back then. Gonzo it was the same.
A little bit, yeah.
He played Gonzo a lot more innocently than he is. Because now Gonzo's just kind of like a regular, quirky guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's just the guy who happens to be the Muppets who just thinks completely outside the box. He's a young kid trying to bring his ideas to the Muppets at this point.
Right. I still think the character kind of peaked with the Muppet movie a little bit. I shouldn't say peaked. I should just say that was definitely the moment for him where he got the most relevance and the most kind of like heart. And I'm not even counting about Muppets from Space. I'm not going to count.
Oh, he was good in Caper.
He was good in Caper, but he was more just kind of someone who drove the plot along. I'm saying I've been listening to more and more Muppets music, and that freaking song in the Muppets movie is just, oh my God, that's such a keeper. Anyways.
Okay, let's see. So as Kermit and Gonzo dance, which is adorable, we hear that air raid title. This is interesting. They have a running gag out of what sounds like the air raid siren that Gonzo was using. So Gonzo really is a presence in this episode. He's using the air raid siren to cue the dance.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's his whole, he's the one putting on the marathon, so of course.
No, I'm saying like the opening
of the episode.
Like the opening used an air raid siren, so perhaps it's that when he did that was cueing the dancing for the episode.
Very much. So are you saying that that's the one time that Gonzo did the horn and it was actually doing what he was intending it to do?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God. Breaking news here.
It may or may not have been the case. At the very least, he says, "Oh man, that's a weird noise. I'm going to use that." Something like that. So let's see. So I believe it's Carol Burnett singing "Watch What Happens."
Yeah.
She's singing "Watch What Happens." Again, Carol Burnett, really talented singer too. You got to bear that in mind too. She's just jack of all trades. That Carol Burnett.
This is the closest thing she actually gets to performing an act.
Yep, closest thing, and then it is interrupted by.
Pretty much everyone.
Yep. She. Yeah, I love this. She just gets so ticked off during the song and just calls them turkeys. You turkeys. And here's the thing.
Basically just classic Muppets kind of just in the background. They're just, they're trying to dance around her. They're trying to be part of the scene, but it's not working out. They're just getting in the way.
And the thing is, it's like, here's the thing. It's like the tempo changes. The tempo changes.
Yeah.
Carol Burnett,
That's what really throws her off.
And here's, again, to show you how great a performer she is. Like, the tempo is changing, and she's adapting to the music. She's adapting to the new tempo. And says, I can't do this.
This is where I'm supposed to perform my heart out.
Yep, just, you turkeys! And just showing she can turn on a dime.
Hear me and hear me good. I did not come here to be made a fool of by you nitwits.
Okay, then we have the can group.
Yes.
So you gotta
as Carol's holding a note right when the whistle blows and the can starts.
Oh yeah. Like the worst thing that happened while you're performing a can.
Animal grabs her partner.
Okay, yeah. Then we see, let's see. So then we have Miss Piggy looking for a partner for the twist.
But you know, he's already taken. He's Gonzo's partner.
Yep.
Kermit's not having any of that now. He's like, no, let's dance, Piggy. Of course, Piggy's had kind of a small role in the past couple of episodes.
Well, I mean, how could you hold a candle to Carol Burnett here? I mean, come on.
I'm just saying. Normally she's kind of in the spotlight here. I mean, here she has a Pigs in Space segment, so
Yeah,
that's a little bit more than she had to do with Martin.
It's awfully dark, too.
It is. Okay.
Okay, let's see. So then what we got next?
What do we have next? Well, so let's see. It's oh god.
Oh yeah, okay, I remember. I'm sorry. I got it. It's Carol Burnett and Kermit the Frog. It's this hilarious bit where she's just shaking the crap out of Kermit. She's shaking Kermit like there's no tomorrow, and then okay, this is where Carol Burnett just wins me over for the.
You call this number shaky?
Yeah, this is my favorite. Yeah, this is my favorite part of the episode. Just she calls my number shaky, and then she switches on a dime to apologizing so profusely, like said, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and she's just really upset. This is the heart of Carol Burnett. Like she can go all over the place. At the bottom line, she just says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And she's just very upset. The core of this whole episode, she's just upset that she can't do what she loves to do, which is be in a variety show, do sketches. That's her wheelhouse. She can't do it with all this dancing and distraction going on. So your heart goes out to poor old Carol Burnett. Oh
yeah. Yeah, like you said, it's like she just kind of switches on a dime from just being totally nasty to Kermit to just like being incredibly sympathetic.
Again, if someone is saying that she's shaky, then she shakes him. I don't know. It's just whenever you shake Kermit the Frog like that, it's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, anyway, so I think she's having some small talk with Animal.
Yes.
Dip.
Let's see. One of the couples on the dance marathon is like, first thing we should do if we win the dance marathon is stop dancing.
Yep, and then we see Link spills his drink. And then we have a great Carol Burnett. Again, she doesn't technically get to perform without interruption, but she does get to have some cameos of famous characters, essentially her signature character, the cleaning woman.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would call the cleaning woman almost kind of like, dare I say, almost kind of like the female equivalent to Chaplin's tramp.
Yeah, I think that'd be a fair assumption.
Yeah, because she really does a lot with just. I mean, of course, she does have speaking roles, but she just does a lot with just miming in that role.
Yeah, I mean, I hear like her version of it, but obviously not the same thing. I mean, more of a mascot in her for her use of it, but yeah, it's her equivalent to her creation of notoriety like that. You know?
Right. Okay.
And also, I think like Animal's under is Animal under the cleaning woman's costume, or is it Carol Burnett's?
I think he's under Carol Burnett's costume, and that's why she's like, "You really are an animal." Oh boy!
Again, Animals.
I know what that implies.
Well, remember, Animal loves women.
Woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Personally, I would encourage him to go for Carol Burnett over Kathy Griffin any day, but that's just.
Well, he didn't go for Kathy Griffin. That was just a one-night stand.
Oh yeah. I mean, Carol Burnett, that's forever. Like this dance contest. Oof. So let's see. So then we have after that we have Gonzo.
He's giving a running commentary on the dance, and he's like, "We're 6 grueling minutes into the marathon."
6 grueling minutes, and you see the fatigue is imminent.
We get our first dropouts, and then Kermit calls Beauregard on stage.
Good old Beauregard. Oh, I love
Beauregard. The one Muppet who went to Disney World and actually wanted to ride the rides.
Yes.
Okay.
Guy can drive a cab, not well, but he can drive a cab, drive a train, not well.
Backwards.
Not well, but he can drive it.
I don't know. There takes a certain amount of skill to drive a train backwards.
Anyway, so then we have Kermit the Frog. He says he promised a variety show to Carol Burnett. So Pigs in Space is next on the docket. Basically, they're saying, well, you can't do if you do Pigs in Space now, you got people dancing all around. Don't worry, we took care of it.
So Link's dancing, but Piggy, she's taking her role completely seriously.
I wonder if that's supposed to be a disco ball or a disco planet.
Who knows? Probably both. All right, so there's this weird alien thing.
Oh yeah, big old alien.
Gonzo, doesn't Gonzo ask Piggy why she's not dancing? So she's
basically
alien.
It's Link's dancing with Dr. Strangepork, and then Piggy is like with the creature, and essentially Piggy is devoured by the creature.
Right. Oh god.
I mean, I was going like, wow. Yeah. It's always a little disconcerting seeing your Muppet characters eaten.
This is darker than the Kermit the Frog Ice Bucket Challenge.
I don't know. I mean, Kermit was in more mortal danger. Piggy just could have spit out. Anyway, so basically then Gonzo's telling her, well, you got to dance or else you're disqualified. And Piggy's dancing within the belly of the beast.
Literally.
Indigestion in space. So the Muppets are getting cranky.
Yeah, they want to give Gonzo a black eye, essentially.
Yeah. Polka we polka.
Oh boy, oh boy. I wrote down this is basically the closest the episode comes to filler.
Well, that's the segment's all about, just kind of jokey filler.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I give this episode a lot of props for, in general, kind of having this very thorough kind of narrative to it with the dancing, and this definitely doesn't do anything to distract from that. So, good job there. I mean, I feel like there's certain episodes where it's just like, we have like 2 or 3 filler sketches here and there, but this is really the only one that I consider that. And even then, it's still, like I said, it's still in the context of the dance. So,
and if I'm remembering this correctly, among some of our gags here, like one of them saying, husband and wife couple, I guess, the wife saying, disco keeps her young, says she's 23 years old. She is obviously, she doesn't look that.
No, not at all.
Meanwhile, we got the cleaning woman. She's participating, and who's your dance partner? And it's the Mop. They both got numbers on. Huzzah!
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, that cleaning woman. Oh, the shenanigans. So let's see. Then we got. Looks like we got. We got Kermit and Piggy, right?
Yeah, I just had Piggy wants to go to the dressing room. Not much detail on that note. In general, my notes on this episode aren't great. I apologize. But we have Gonzo. We have a siren, and he's like, "Keep dancing. That was just another ambulance. Everybody limbo." Oh boy.
I think the idea was like we can dance or we can talk, and I think with Kermit and Piggy, I think the idea is Piggy wanted Kermit to go to her dressing room.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
For stuff. Okay, so and we got limbo going on.
Yes.
Not exactly the dance of choice for people who are exhausted.
Oh, then we have probably the best scene in the episode, wouldn't you say?
One of the best, absolutely. Oh, one of the funniest lines in the episode, definitely. Oh, so poor Carol Burnett, she's crying. She, she feels humiliated.
And this is where we genuinely feel for her. You know what I mean? Like, she makes us care.
Exactly. So she's humiliated, and she blames Kermit. And like Kermit's saying, "Well, our other guests go through this sort of thing." He mentions like, doesn't she say something like, what?
She just starts slamming Julie.
She does, basically saying like you performed with other people before and stuff like that, and basically
you have to go on for days with that Hills That Are Alive song.
She has like a Julie Andrews impression too. And basically said, "Well, I sang with Julie Andrews, Tadpole and Fish." And the same thing, and then Kermit's the same thing. Yeah. So then, basically, Kermit the Frog wins her over with that frog charm of his. He says, "Oh, but Carol, you can't leave. I invited you on the show because I want to see one number of yours in particular." Says your lonely asparagus routine, and oh my god, this is fantastic. Carol Burnett, her eyes light up. She is.
Did you say lonely asparagus routine?
Yeah, apparently she has a lot of love and reverence for this.
Now, is this one of her famous routines?
You know, I was hoping to
Because
find
I was trying to look for it, and I couldn't find anything outside of the Muppet Show.
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything on it either. Then again, I had more time to look for it initially. But,
Okay.
yeah, so unfortunately, I could. I think it's fictional. I'm convinced it's fictional.
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah. Anyway, but still, it's the idea she has a lonely, of all the various copious acts Carol Burnett has, she has a lonely asparagus act. And Kermit the
That's the
Frog,
one that's closest to her heart.
well, harder than asparagus. Come on. Anyways, and she's head over heels for yes. You know, she's thanking Kermit profusely. She's getting changed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, she's setting herself up for
I
something.
didn't interrupt for disappointment.
So Kermit's called away for something, and then Scooter enters.
Oh,
He's all decked out in the suit and everything, and like
Probably the single most iconic moment from this whole episode.
She looks great in that suit, by the way. That's a cool looking costume. So Scooter enters, and Mister, are you doing a vegetable soup sketch? That's next door.
I'll have you know, I am a lady.
And just slaps him off the second floor.
Goes flying.
You know.
Now that's a moment that you see just played over and over in those best of the Muppet Show clips and montages and stuff.
Now this is actually kind of based on something, Tiki. I remember I was able to conduct like a mini bit of research before we were on here tonight about Carol Burnett. And apparently people, sometimes she gets asked, like, she would joked about this in, like, her opening. Like, she's an opener for a lot of things sometimes. Mm-hmm. Basically, she says, you know, sometimes, like, the most embarrassing question I've been asked is if I've had a sex change.
Oh, God.
You know, she pokes fun at it, but I could assume maybe that's coming from, you know, maybe because she had, like, short hair. And at the time, that was probably, you know.
Jamie Lee Curtis went through that same kind of stuff, too.
That sort of things. I mean, it's obviously, there's got to be a lot of love among the Muppets for Carol Burnett. That might be a little self-referential, or a gag. She pokes fun at herself because of that.
Sure,
you know?
Sure.
Okay, then let's see. Then we got a gag with the cleaning woman.
Mm-hmm. What is the gag with the cleaning?
So let's see. The cleaning woman is, but not for me. We see like Muppet shadows here.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. For some reason, I don't have anything about it.
Then because
those are really bad. They really are.
It was all set to go before. It was all set to go in previous times. That I've kind of lost some steam on this.
Yeah. Well, I did watch the episode before it went on air too.
Yeah, I didn't have time.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, the point is, it's you remember what the clean woman's gag was then, but it's like not for me, but for my shadow or something like that. It's
yeah,
like,
isn't it kind of
like there are
Muppet
Muppet shadows. It's called
right,
not for me, and they have Muppet shadows on the thing or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this clean woman has an opportunity to sing, and she's pretty darn good at it, but I cannot remember what happens precisely. Sorry, folks. I'm sorry.
Here's a proper use of the sound. There we go.
Well, that makes me feel better. Okay, so then we got the asparagus sketch.
Yes.
And basically, she wants to go on with the asparagus sketch, but they gotta wait till after the contest is over.
This is only a rest period, and it'll be over when everyone collapses on the floor and can't move.
And I love that. Just in response to this, she takes the asparagus head off and puts it on Kermit.
Well, that can't happen if you keep giving them rest periods.
They're just rooting for these people with keel over, essentially. That's what Carol Burnett's doing. If they've jerked her around too much and just wants to do her asparagus number.
Yeah, she's had it up to here. She's just done with this Muppet antics.
So essentially, she's tiring them all out by pumping up the dancing. She's all into it now. It's basically tiring them all out, you know? Even Animal of all Muppets. She's tired out Animal.
Oh my God, Animal most of all.
So it's time. So now it's time the prize.
And she's just like yelling, like just, oh, go faster! Come on, you can do it! You can do it! Go faster! Go faster! Go faster!
Oh, Carol Burnett and her lovely hyperactivity used fantastically. You know, it works so great. She could energize herself like there's no tomorrow. Seriously, she's really good at that.
We see the penguins collapse, and we see Animal. He he keeps shuffling by, but every time he shuffles by slower and slower.
Animal just has such noodle limbs, you know?
Oh, he does, absolutely. And
Especially in
then
Muppets from Manhattan. You never see it has like such noodly limbs in it.
Exactly. And then so Carol and Animal kind of get into it. An Animal, he's just, he basically has a seizure in a way. He just starts spazzing out and then just freezes and collapses. Oh, yeah.
And then, let's see, so then, it's time after, now she's finally ready to perform. Oh, we can't do that. Yeah, we got to give out prizes. So the prize interruption. And then we find out, the coup de grace here. We find out that the winners of the dance contest were in fact robots. I believe is it Dr. Bunsen Honeydew? Is he informed us of this?
Yes, it's Honeydew. Yes.
Dr. Bunsen Honeydew informs me. Oh, these are the dancing robots. Then Gonzo says, robots are against the rules. No prize. And they're all peeved.
And then everyone just piles on him.
Yep.
And then Carol, poor Carol, man.
Yeah, she gets the Nadia treatment here. She's
does,
all
she
set
does.
and ready to perform, and then Kermit the Frog gets on.
Kermit, look, I don't care about any of this. When do I get to perform? Whoa, Carol, we're out of time.
We're
out of time?
Oh, when she loses it, oh my god, she loses
out of time?
She doesn't receive that news well, and then basically as the credits roll, as in typical Muppet fashion, usually it's the celebrities palling around with the Muppets as the credits roll. In this case, it's Kermit is very, very upset with Kermit. It's like shaking him like
I was on my way out the door.
Seemingly she's like probably crying a little bit in that too, but she's really upset with the Frog. He's going through the range of emotions.
Poor Kermit and poor Carol.
Yeah, I feel bad for Carol Burnett. And
I
then
feel bad for both of them.
Yeah, certainly. Then what's our post-credit scene?
I actually don't have that written down.
Okay, the post-credit scene is Carol Burnett. She gets to sing a bit of her asparagus bit.
Oh, does she? Okay.
She gets this. She starts it or something. She gets into a little bit, and then she's like, basically, time completely runs out. Oh, rats!
All right.
Actually, when she says "oh, rats," I think it's kind of another minorly historic moment in Muppet history where the "oh, rats" is the last gag of the episode. Basically, remember when the Zoot when he plays? Is it Zoot, the one on the saxophone?
Yeah.
When he plays a sing, basically you hear her over that just saying, "Oh, rats," basically when she runs out of time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she got a bit of it in there, and then she just didn't have time. Yeah.
So, I mean, what can we say about this episode? I think it's incredibly solid, just from the point of just playing around with the usual formula of the episode. I honestly do think Carol Burnett is probably, from what I've seen at the Muppet Show, easily one of the people that interacted the best with them.
Yeah, she has the energy that can match their levels. So
exactly.
She can go to the switches. Like it's kind of interesting. She's a great match for Kermit the Frog because Kermit the Frog, when things are going south, he's freaking out, and Carol Burnett is a perfect match for that. Now she freaks out over that.
Right. So, I mean, I feel like in terms of, like, Steve Martin, it's like we all love Steve Martin. He had a fantastic episode. He really did. But, it was kind of more of Steve Martin just doing his usual thing in the context of the Muppet Show. And this is more kind of Carol sort of getting in on the act. You know what I mean? She's performing the character of Carol Burnett, if that makes any sort of sense.
Exactly. Well, also the cleaning woman.
Well, yeah, of course. That's like her classic bit that she gets to do here.
Yeah, I want to undersell the cleaning woman. She's great just to have like her there. If you're gonna have characters performers with other identities. Yeah, real quick, I wonder if there are like any. It'd be nice to see with this new Muppet Show if we have like actors who have like kind of character bits and then having little cameos of that.
Yeah, I'd be curious. Exactly, it's very interesting to see how they're going to handle the cameos on the new show.
Well, they got some good ones. I don't know all of them. I just know I heard of a new one recently.
I'm trying my best not to spoil.
I know. That's why I'm not going to tell you. I'm just saying I heard of a new one recently.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I know we got some good ones in that pilot, but we'll get to that eventually.
We did. Oh God. Okay, so yeah, I guess we kind of did our last thoughts. Anything else to say here?
Again, so Carol Burnett, she's the queen of comedy, and she's in a restrictive role and still stealing the show. I mean, it's a testament to how great she is. In the restrictive role, I mean, like she's playing it. It's a great tongue-in-cheek performance she has here. But, like, she's the queen of variety shows, and she can't perform.
And we should also bring up the fact that was this the first Muppet Show episode that won an Emmy?
I'm not sure.
But I know for a fact it did win one because Brian Henson said so.
Well, it deserves that. It deserves that. I mean, Carol Burnett deserves something for all her trouble not being able to do her asparagus number full all the way through.
And also, I think the puppeteers just deserve some special props for pulling off the dancing all the way through the episode as well.
Oh, of course, let's address that. That's an impressive feat in itself.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. But usually that ballroom number goes on for like a few minutes. This is throughout the whole episode.
Yeah, it's just like, and dancing, I imagine, would not be the easiest thing to do in the puppeteering landscape.
Because remember, well, usually, especially if you have a character who says something during the song.
Right.
That requires at least two performers. You need someone manning the arms sometimes.
So, I mean, that's just the thing with the Muppets in general, I feel like, is it's so seamless that we don't even think about the puppeteering that goes in behind it half the time. You know what I mean? It's just, they're just there. It's freaking real to us half the time, and that's just the magic of the Muppets in a nutshell.
Exactly.
All right, so I think that's a pretty good place to end off on, don't you?
Yep. And again, these episodes in particular we're tackling, just kind of build into our ending here.
Sure.
I've kind of noticed this with our selection. We're kind of tackling kind of the huge engravings on the Muppet Show from kind of a little bit of every season, and I don't know if it's exactly a little bit from every season. Some of them, 3 and 4 kind of run together for me. But point is, we're kind of handling. These are people who've had like huge impacts in Hollywood, as almost every star is for the Muppet Show. But I mean, these guys in particular, they've always had like a huge mark in Hollywood. Steve Martin, Carol Burnett, certainly.
Of course.
Our next one is one of the. If Carol Burnett's the queen, this guy's one of the kings, one of the many kings of Hollywood.
Want to introduce him?
May I?
Yes, by all means.
Okay. Well, so basically, folks, so next time we are discussing the incomparable, the king. In many respects, if there's like a lineage of kings of Hollywood, this guy was at the top of the rank for a long time. Is the man who made one of his big breaks in Singing in the Rain, but many other performances aside from that. The wonderful, the incomparable Gene Kelly. And let me preface it this, folks. This is one of my favorites we're going to be talking about. I love the Gene Kelly episode.
Yeah, you've been hyping this one up to me for a while.
This one is probably the most emotional I got watching a Muppet Show. Not that I was brought to tears, and it just made my heart feel really nice. It's like, oh, that's
okay. So that's very exciting. So
I can't wait to talk about this one.
Okay, so tune in next time on the Muppet Show Rewound when we talk about our very special guest. What's our special guest?
Gene Kelly.
Gene Kelly. For some reason, I wanted to say Peter Sellers, and I was like, no, that's not right. I'm an idiot.
I literally just brought it up.
I know, you literally just brought it up, and then my mind was about to say Peter Sellers, and then I stopped myself, and I was like, no, it's not Peter Sellers. It's not Peter Sellers.
Oh, you know what's funny? Real quick. It's so hilarious. This whole episode is about dancing. The next guy we're talking about is like one of his big claims to fame. He's a fantastic dancer.
As Jerry the Mouse would attest.
Oh, of course. And, Stewie Griffin and Kermit the Frog.
Stewie Griffin's the same footage, literally.
Well, yeah, and same thing with Kermit the Frog. It's the little Jerry Mouse footage. Well,
is it really?
Well, no, not exactly, but you know what
Yeah.
I mean. Okay.
Okay, so yes, we will be talking about that next time on the Muppet Show Rewound. Yeah!